Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I have a very, very old book that I've turned into a junk journal today. It is so old. It is actually 150 years old exactly. This book is from 1874. I don't often get books this old. This one I received in really bad shape, as you can see. A lot of the pages inside had already been torn out, but I was able to save the first page. And I was even afraid to do any more cleaning on this. I started pulling off the color. So I left it worn because it's 150 years of being well used. So this one's called Aunt Joe's Scrap Bag, and I love it. I can't believe how vivid these flowers still are. The leaves here, just stunning. The gold is still in here and on the spine. And I love that there's this natural discoloration. It looks like another book was put on top of it, maybe for many, many years. And then on the back, we've got these two beautiful leaves here. So it's fabulous. I've added my vintage beads that I threaded, an Art Deco bead down here from the 1930s. It's the pièce de résistance. And I just added this little vintage piece here to adorn the ribbons. So let me take you on a journey through this book before I put it in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. And everything in here is true to the eras from 150 years ago to right up until 50 years ago. Nothing newer than that. No commercial products in here. So I've got some pressed flowers here on top of an antique encyclopedia page. And this gorgeous Italian or Sicilian postcard is from the early 1900s. And look at this. This is something I really don't see very often. I see it in all kinds of replicas and digital art, but this is a true number 167 that was put in there probably 150 years ago. I love that. And there is the original first page of the book. It is very brittle, so I tried to reinforce it. It may break at some point, but just tuck it back into one of the pockets if that happens. So just be really careful with it. This is another page here from the 1800s. This one's from about the 1890s, little school book page, second reader. This here is from the 50s, so it's 70 years old, Black Beauty. And I think it's really fun. And then this here is just from a vintage book. This is from a 1953 yearbook. And look at how wonderful this is. All these ladies here. It's so fun to look at all the haircuts and the looks like they were trying to sort of wear the same outfits for this photograph. Celebration down here at the school. And this is from the early 1900s. This is a page on Barcelona, and it has a really unique way to color it. That is certainly not a color photo. They have colored it after the fact. It's kind of cool. This here is from the 1920s. Safety first, dress fasteners. Love it. That's original as well. And there is one of the pages from this book as well, Aunt Joe's Scrap Bag. This is a 1932 Boston cookbook page, and there's scones up there, and these I've been looking at these recipes. They're really, really fabulous, and I'm going to maybe try a few. So in this pocket here, this 1940s pocket down here with all the different hairstyle accessories, we've got this piece here from the early 1900s, this vintage ticket from London Transport, and then one of my 1920s Flinch cards, number 7 there. That's all on top of a Bobbsey twin page there from the 50s. And then this here is another piece from the 50s from a teen music magazine. Look at how awesome this is. Just really, really fun. Look at that guy in the microphone. Love it to death. And that just gets tucked right into there. Another beautiful page from the 1800s. Look at this, a little poem about a bird and a little girl. And then here, in this Bobbsey Twins pocket down here, I've got what is really cool. And this here I pulled from a newspaper from the 1940s. It was during the war. And it's Donald Duck. Look at how cool that is. Is that neat? Love it. Really, really like that a lot. And then this here is just an antique book page. I loved the design on it. So I added antique paper there too for journaling. That is from early 1900s, beautiful color plate. And this is the inside of a book piece that I just loved. I made this little booklet here out of my vintage papers and cutoffs. you can journal all throughout that. It's another 1950s piece. And this is also from the 1940s newspaper. Photo pics. Wonderful. And this is one of my 1970s 50-year-old bird book here. It's a lovely page. Nice and colorful. This is from the early 1900s here. And then this is the inside spine. And if you look closely, you can actually see the titling of it, which came from the inside here. And then I just have a journaling card in there, a vintage sort of a recipe card that never was used, but is very old. This is from the early 1900s as well. Just a little journaling space there. Little pocket here from the 50s. And then one of these awesome recipe book pages. And this is a really cool, I have a bunch of these. They were book protectors. So I turned them into little pockets. And then this piece here, which is the iris, which I love. I have a lot of iris antique pieces. Patchwork bag here. It's not lovely, but I just love that. And that is from 1915. This here is a 1950s baby card, and it's actually got tons of glitter on it, which I thought was really cool. Isn't that beautiful? It's really quite sweet. So I turned it into a pocket. And in the pocket here, I've got this wonderful early 1900s page, the ducks, and more antique paper on the back. And you can tuck even more things in here. That's the thing I love about pockets and tucks. You can keep adding another pocket at this end of the glassine book cover, and another 1920s children's book page with antique paper for journaling. I love this, also early 1900s school book about flowers. This is a 1970s botanical gardening page. How bright those colors are. They almost look fake. This is from that same Boston cookbook from 1932 I was telling you about, and that's the first plate in the book. This wonderful woman in her test kitchen making a recipe. Got some antique 1901 music sheet down here. And then this came from the cover of book again. I couldn't save this book, but I loved this part of it, the old scrapbook. And it just sort of reminded me of the name here, the scrap bag and the scrapbook. So they live together. And then some little child in the last 50 to 100 years colored this in. So I thought that was quite endearing. A little dictionary piece here. This is from Cream Hill Book, a vintage book. You can journal on there as well. And there's lots of white pages here. They're all antique pages that you can journal on. And then this here is another one of these wonderful 1953 yearbook pages. Look at the prom dresses. These are fabulous. Something you'd see in a movie, right? This is one of my vintage tree book pages, and I just love it. I love it so much. And here's one of these fantastic 1800 pages again. Look at that beautiful, beautiful flower garden or meadow there with lots of pretty flowers. And there's a little poem there. And that brings us to the end. I hope you love this as much as I loved making it. I hope you come back, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.